Hi guys, it's Carrie from ROCKIN G FARM. Today I am trying to make my own laundry soap in hopes to save a little bit of money when I am doing the laundry. I came up with this recipe off of Pinterest, and I will put the link below so that you can look at the different ways that this lady makes this soap. I chose the easier one that would be easy for me with my time frame. So what I'm doing, I am using borax, I am using the super washing soda laundry booster, water, and 2-quart size mason jars. You will need a blender and you will also need a knife. So let's get started. You will also need 1 bar of Fell's Naphtha soap. That's a mouthful. So you can get all of these products on the cleaning aisle in your store. Sometimes they have them, sometimes you might have to go to different stores to find them, but they will all be on the cleaning aisle or the laundry soap aisle.
Now we're going to get our 2-quart size mason jars and our Fell's Naphtha soap. Now we're going to take the bar of Fell's Naphtha soap and cut it in half. After we cut the bar of soap in half, we're going to cut each half into smaller pieces of soap, and that way it will be easier to melt in the next process. Now we're going to take 1/2 of the bar of soap that is already cut up and place it into one of the quart-size mason jars. Then we're going to cut the other half of the soap into small chunks also, and then we will place that half of the soap into the second quart-size mason jar. Now this next step, you can either use your stovetop or your microwave. We just need some really hot water to place into those 2-quart mason jars. Just remember that you're going to need at least 1.5 cups of water in each mason jar, so make sure that you warm up plenty of water. So now the water has gotten to a boil, but not a full rolling boil. We just needed it real hot. So right now I'm just measuring out 1.5 cups of hot water for the mason jars. So we've just got the hot water, and we're adding 1.5 cups of the hot water to each of the mason jars. You can see the steam is coming up. We just need to make sure that it's hot water so that soap can start to melt. Okay, so this next process, we're going to leave the 2-quart jars of soap and water on the countertop and let the soap start dissolving. This is a good process on making this type of soap because you can leave this on your counter for several days and just let that soap dissolve. So if you're really super busy, this is perfect for you because it gives you time to go do other things that you need to get done while this is starting to dissolve. So awesome blossom.
So what we have done, we have completed the first step with the hot water and the Fell's Naphtha soap. So we've got that here. So what you want to do after you have set that out, the recipe says just to do it the next day. Well, I've been busy and it's been several days. So mine is actually liquefied a little bit again, but if you just do it on the first day afterwards, it will be solidified. I've had a lot of heat going on in here in the in the kitchen, so it has liquefied it a little bit this morning. But what you will do, if yours is still solid, you will get your knife and you'll stick it in your jar and you'll make an X on the top of that soap. So that soap will get an air pocket under there and release from the bottom of your jar, so you can mix in your borax and your washing soda. So we're going to use 1/2 of a cup in each one of these quart mason jars. So we're going to 1/2 of borax. Oops, a little messy there. And I probably should use my funnel. Let me grab my funnel real quick. Hey, a funnel would be very helpful with this, then you won't make a mess. So there's 1/2 cup of borax. And we're going to use 1/2 cup of your laundry booster super washing soda. Mix those in. 1/2, oopsie, to each jar. Okay guys, now I've got some hot water. I've got it almost to boiling, but not quite boiling. So we are going to fill up the rest of your quart jars to just up on the shoulder of the jar. You can see right there, right here is going to be the shoulder of the jar. We're going to fill that all the way up with this hot water. That kind of settle just a little bit and see how much our water goes down. Just a tad more on this one. Okay, so that looks like it's just right at the shoulders of the jar. And so now we'll get ready to put them on the blender. Next thing you're going to do after you have your water and all of your soaps in your mason quart jar, you're going to take the base of your blender, to go ahead and take it apart, get your gasket for your blender, put it on top of your jar, and then you're going to get your blade, make sure it's in there, and make sure that your gasket is centered on the jar and it's not kinked up anywhere. Then we're going to put the base of the blender on your mason jar, and you're just going to tighten that up, and then we're going to blend. Making sure that's real good and tight so it doesn't leak out. There we go. Gonna invert it, put it on your blender, and we are just going to blend. So now we're just going to blend. So we're going to check it out, because it should look about like the consistency of mayonnaise. Looks like ours is still a little liquefied, but I did put hot water in it. So let's blend just a little bit more. Okay, let's do the next jar. a little bit runny, but like I said, I've got hot water in there. So I think that is probably pretty good for right now. So we're gonna do the same thing with our next jar, but let me rinse off my gasket.
Ensure you wash and thoroughly dry your gasket and blade in between each jar.
Okay, got this one done. So you just have to be very careful when you are putting your gasket in so that there is nothing in between the seal on the jar, the gasket, and the actual blade, because it will flip your gasket up and it will get caught on your blade. So that was a warning in the recipe. So, and I did it too. So I did the same thing that she did. Flipped up my gasket, but the first one did great. The next one I just had to flip my gasket onto a different side. But let's see how thick this one is. This one's thicker because it was already thick to begin with. And then let's see how this, oh yeah, look at that now. Look at that. Okay, and the best thing about this, guys, y'all just made enough laundry soap for 128 loads of laundry. All you have to do is use 1 tablespoon for each load of laundry and just rinse it off the spoon. Put it on your spoon with the tablespoon, rinse it under the water, and there you go. Have brand new, homemade, super cheap, great, heavy duty laundry soap. So tell me what you think in the comments below. If you've made this before, if you used it before. I didn't put any essential oils in it, but with the soap, it already has like a nice clean smell, so I don't think you really would have to put any essential oils in it. But if you did put essential oils in it, put it in right before you put the hot water in, and then put it on your blender. But guys, that's all it is. Super, super easy. You can use this for any type of washing machine that you have for your laundry. You just don't put it in the dispenser area for the soap in a high efficiency washer. Just put it right on inside the drum along with your clothes. So guys, thanks for joining me today as I made some homemade laundry soap for my laundry, and I did it on pennies on the dollar. And we'll store it just like this on the counter in your laundry room. Thanks for joining me, and make what you have beautiful.